In this video, we're going to talk about algebraic expressions and different parts of expressions. Some definitions first. We have a term, which is a single number or variable, single number or variable, or both of those multiplied together. We have a coefficient, the number in front of a variable, and a constant, which is just a term that doesn't have a variable. And a variable is, in math, we just have a letter that stands for something else. Okay, so if you're like me, you probably want to see an example of each of these. A term is separated by either an addition or a subtraction sign. So we have an addition sign right here, so that tells us, okay, how many terms do we have? Well, we have 1 here and 2 here. So this has 2 terms, so 2 terms. All right, and then what is a coefficient? Well, a coefficient is a number in front of a variable. So if we have a variable right here, that's a variable, it's just a letter, then the coefficient is the number in front of that. So our coefficient is 3. So that's going to be our coefficient. All right, and then we have a constant. A constant is a term that does not have a variable. So notice how I didn't write that 4 was a coefficient because there's no variable there. Since there's no variable, that tells us that it's going to be a constant. If you think about the word constant, meaning it's something that doesn't change, then that is going to be a constant. 4. Variable is something that can change. Well, if it doesn't have a variable, it has to be constant. So 4. This term will always be 4, no matter what, because there's no variable to change it. So we have a constant, our variable, and our coefficient, and these two terms are separated by an addition sign, so that tells us there are 2 terms. All right, so you might hear me say expression, equation, and you might be asking, well, what's the difference between an expression and an equation? All right, well, an expression, does not, pardon the terrible handwriting, does not have an equals sign, okay? An equation does. An equation does. So for example, if I asked you the question, is this an expression or an equation, and I gave you this, 3x, oh my goodness, minus 7, and that was it, well, that's not an equation since there's no equal sign. But if I said 3x minus 7 equals 4, that is an equation since there is an equal sign. So that's the difference between an expression and an equation. All right. So this video is just for definitions and to clear up kind of just any surface level stuff. In the next video, we will talk about some examples of how to identify and just kind of a wide range of different types of examples or problems that you might see.